All right, welcome everybody. Can go ahead and get started and we'll see if we have any stragglers coming behind. But welcome to this month's Hot Potato Budding Gardeners. So today we're going to learn all about planting and propagating sweet potatoes. So my name is Jill. I'm the Marketing and Membership Manager here at the Garden Club, and our event ambassador today is Christy Osuna. And we have thank you to our lovely volunteers here today. And thank you to the Jesse Ball DuPont Fund for funding all of our programs. And thank you to our Budding Gardeners co-chairs, Maureen Biacco and Jean Moyer. And if you're interested, our next Budding Gardeners in July, on July 16th, is all about friendly snakes. So we are partnering with Mosh, and they'll bring some snakes that you can see and learn the ones that are friendly and the ones that aren't. And if you are not a member with the Garden Club, you can come see me afterwards, and I'm happy to work that out for you. And you can get discounts on memberships and all kinds of things. Today, our presenter is Elizabeth Davis, Elizabeth in overalls. And if you have any questions, we can save them to the end and then we can ask. We're also going to do an activity where you guys can plant a little plant. So if you have any questions about that, we'll get to that. And with that, I will hand it over to Elizabeth.
Hey, everybody. How are y'all doing today? Good. You feel weird? It's okay. It's okay. You know, I wake up feeling weird all the time. And sometimes you just gotta you're like, okay, shake out the weird, shake out the weird. Okay. I'm no longer weird. I got it all out. Got it all out. All right. So I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about sweet potatoes. Does anybody know anything about sweet potatoes? Do you know what color sweet potatoes are? Does anybody know what color sweet potatoes are? Orange is red, right. That is correct. They are edible and not poisonous. Did you know that sweet potatoes can also be purple? They can also be white. Isn't that pretty crazy? Today, I actually have orange sweet potatoes, and then I have a white sweet potato. Kind of looks like a duck, doesn't it? Quack, 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 quack. Ooh, a scorpion. Oh, and that's its tail, and so it's like, you better watch out. Make sure I can point it towards you, huh? So even though you can have two different kinds of sweet potatoes or different kinds of sweet potatoes, they basically all taste the same. They're a little sweet. They fill you up really good. They're really good for you. They actually help out with your vision, so they can help you see better. They help out with your immunity, so they help you so that you don't get sick. They help out with your memory so that you can remember things down the road. Did you know that? Yeah. Eat sweet potatoes and you'll remember it. Yes, sir. You can make sweet potato French fries. That's my favorite kind of French fry. Oh, I didn't even know I was back there on the screen. So my goodness. All right. Well, that's kind of fun. I should do a little dance. That's awesome. So sweet potatoes, do you think sweet potatoes produce seeds? Actually, no, they don't produce seeds. What they produce is they call slips. And so this right here is called a slip. And so it's not actually a sweet, so the seed itself is the sweet potato. That is your actual seed. And it grows these slips or these vines off of the end of the sweet potato, and that's what you plant to grow more sweet potatoes. So if you see here, these sweet potato vines, these were little slips that we planted in the ground, and each one of the roots that grows off of it starts to produce a potato. And so each one of those is going to end up being a potato in the ground. Isn't that really cool? And so see, here's another one. And each one of these, as it grows, spits out a root. And each time that root produces another sweet potato. So if you have it going along the ground, the vine going along the ground, each time a root spits out, it'll spit out a little sweet potato, and you'll have a bunch of little sweet potatoes. Or you can put it so it grows up the side of something, and that one root is in one spot, and it'll grow a really big sweet potato. When we're doing our planting a little later, I'll show you, I have a picture of a sweet potato that's as big as my head. Did you know sweet potatoes could get that big? Well, you know what? You know what you really need to help things grow really good? You need sun. What else is something that you need? Water. Yes, you definitely need water. That is really cool. That is cool. They do take over the garden. Yeah, mint does take over. It's a crazy plant. You can't kill it around here for sure. You do need soil, and you need good soil. You need soil that has food in it. And you know what? What kind of food do plants eat? I bet you can't guess. Dirt. Mm-hmm. Nutrients. And you know, nutrients, that's a big word. Sometimes nutrients come from seaweed. Sometimes nutrients come from chicken poop. Yes, chicken poop. Worm poop? Yes, actually, worm poop is very good. What you want to see in your dirt, you want to see life in your dirt. You want to see things crawling in your dirt, things growing in your dirt. So when you're digging through it, you want to see worms, you want to see bugs, you want to see things growing. That means your dirt is alive. That means it's healthy. And that means the roots can get all through there and grow and be all exciting, and you'll grow really big potatoes. So you need the soil, you need healthy soil with food in it. You need a good environment. So you want to create the environment for the bugs and for the worms and for lizards, because the lizards eat the bad bugs. You want the ladybugs to come because they help out as well. You want to make sure you water it, because sweet potatoes take up lots of water. They love to drink up the water. They also love the heat. That's why sweet potatoes grow so well in the summer around here, because they love the heat. They love the sun. So when you're planting your sweet potato, make sure you find a good sunny spot, and it'll grow all the time for you. You can actually grow them year round around here, which is pretty exciting. So, does anybody else have any questions? No? Why are they edible? Well, honestly, don't know that question. Because somebody a long, long time ago tried to eat them and didn't get sick and said, you know what, these taste pretty good. I think I'll keep growing them. But you do have to cook them. You can eat them raw, but they're pretty starchy. They're like, they're kind of dry. But if you cook them up, you can cook them different ways. You can make sweet potato pie, which I think we'll actually get to try a little bit later. We get to, you can make sweet potato casserole with marshmallows on top at Thanksgiving. Do y'all eat that at Thanksgiving? She's giving me a crazy look. She's like, all right, I don't know about sweet potatoes with marshmallows on top. It's good. It's good. One thing with the white sweet potatoes is the white sweet potatoes are actually a little sweeter than the orange sweet potatoes. So you really don't have to add too much of them. And that's what we'll be planting today, is the white sweet potatoes. So everybody will get to take home a white sweet potato. Yes, ma'am. Usually they're in more specialty stores. You can find them in Fresh Fields Market here. Fresh Market also has them. I've seen them in Whole Foods. I used to only be able to find them at farmers markets. And so I actually, when I could find them at farmers markets, I would do the slips off of them. So I started growing my own. So these are what y'all be taking home are all locally grown in our farm. So in our overall farm. Yes, sir. Well, that's awesome. That means you've got a good green thumb if you've been able to keep those plants growing for over a year. Oh, he's looking at his thumb. Do you see the green in there? You see the red in your thumb? Well, that's good too. Yeah, the blood. Yeah, yeah. Does anybody have any other questions? Yes, ma'am. Yes, you can definitely grow it in a container. With growing in a container, really any kind of container will work. Typically, you can just get a 5-gallon bucket from like Home Depot, one of their little $5 buckets, and you can grow it in there. You want to do about 3/4 of the soil, and then you'll put your slips in, and you really don't have to put the slips in far. This is one of the slips, and you can see where it already has leaves coming off of it. And so you pretty much only want to go about 1 inch in, so you have some of the leaves out, but enough that there's a little bit of the roots under the ground. And what's cool is with sweet potatoes is you think you've harvested the sweet potato, and there will be this much of a root left, and all of a sudden you'll have another sweet potato plant in a month. You really don't need much for the sweet potato to grow. Yeah, it's really cool. Yes, ma'am. With the soil. Yes, ma'am. So, well, unfortunately, with the sweet potato, you really can't tell. With a regular potato, the plant actually dies off, and that's how you know the potato is ready. With a sweet potato, the vine actually just keeps growing and growing and growing. You can actually eat the potato, the vine on the sweet potato. The green is really healthy for you. You can saute it like a spinach or put it in your salad. It's really nutritious for you. He's like, nutritious, yuck, I don't want to eat nutritious, but really you just have to, it usually takes about 2 months for it to grow to about this size probably. So really once you put it in the ground, you just kind of want to maybe mark on your calendar, and then you just have to get in there and start digging around. And if you dig it up and it's only, like this size, and you really want it to be bigger, just cover it back over with dirt and let it keep going. Well, typically, like an orange sweet potato, your leaves are going to be a lighter green. They're going to have more yellows throughout them. The purple sweet potatoes tend to be a darker green, and you even get like the purples in it. The chartreuse is usually an ornamental sweet potato, and so it's more of a vine or ground cover and might not necessarily produce actual fruits. It does. It winters great. I mean, I have a plot in my backyard where I just have it go all winter long, and the leaves will start to die out, but I know underneath that the sweet potatoes are still growing because the ground itself, our ground around here doesn't get cold enough. We really don't freeze. And so they sit there and they just basically bake in the ground so they can grow year round. Yes, ma'am. You can definitely put worms in. And they don't really mess with the potatoes too bad. You can see kind of where maybe they started to eat a little bit of it, but honestly, they don't really bother the potatoes. They more go around the potatoes and they poop, and they leave the poop there, and which actually helps the potato grow a little bit better. Yeah. So you do want to put the worms. You eat poop? Well, you could have washed the potato first, but you might. I mean, we've probably all done it once in our lifetime, right? You didn't know you were going to come talk about this when you came for potatoes, did you? Does anybody else have any other questions before we go start planting? All right. Well, basically what we've got over there is everybody will get a slip. Everybody's will pretty much look more like this with actual leaves on it. And we've got a cooler full of our magic mix, which is our special compost. It does have chicken poop in it. It does have seaweed in it. It's got a lot of other fun things as well. It's got lava dust in it. I know. It is actually made from lava. Yeah. And all that helps the soil be able to breathe, and it helps it to be able to have food and life and nutrients, because you want to be able to let the roots go through and be able to breathe and get air and not be like sucked up with the dirt. So what we'll do is you've got your dirt and it's pretty wet. We made it pretty wet and we'll put it in our cups and then we'll just put our slips right in and you're good to go. And what's cool about these is this is compostable. So when you get home and you find your perfect garden spot, you can just put this whole thing boop, right in the ground and you're good to go. And then in about 2 months, end of August, September, you'll be able to harvest a sweet potato. Good? Yes. Oh yeah. As long as it gets 4 hours of sun a day, then you're fine. I mean, the more sun, the better. But as long as it gets 4 hours a day, then you're good to go. And if you have it in a bucket, you know, you can always move it around as well. All right. Well, thank you so very much.